Hi, welcome to Restorative Yoga. I'm Alison, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. Tonight, we're going to be doing supported child's pose, and we're going to be resting there for a few extra minutes. We'll get started with some movement, but I wanted to just show you how the setup is going to be. If you have a bolster, this is going to be your ideal setup because you'll be resting in this position, but you may want to supplement that. If you're a little tight in the quads, then you may want to have a pillow on hand for that space between the hips and the heels. Or you also may want to rise this up a bit. Again, depending on how tight you are, you may want to have both. So I want you to be able to have both options. If you do not have a bolster, then a rolled up blanket with 2 pillows. They can be queen size, they don't have to be king size. 1 or 2 pillows is going to let you adjust and figure out how far down you want to go. So if you want to press pause and get what you need, we'll get started. So let's get ourselves into a tabletop position for a bit of a warm up of our spine before we rest. So just planting your palms. And if this is a little bit rough on the wrists, then you can take a fist and rest on the top of your knuckles. And just planting them, stacking those elbows and shoulders right above the wrists. Knees are going to be the hips width apart with your feet resting comfortably behind. And just taking in some breathing and some gentle movement of the spine. So finding your neutral position here, let's take an inhale and really lengthen through the spine like there's that magnetic pull on the crown of the head. Lengthening through the spine before we begin. Everybody exhaling to sink up. On your next inhale, allow that belly to drop, a little bit of an arch in the low back. And then as you exhale, push away from the floor, open those shoulder blades. Inhale back into cow. Pressing that chest through the shoulders. Exhale into cat. Maybe curling the pelvis a bit. Inhale back into cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. 2 more. Inhale, draw those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, pushing away, rounding the spine. 1 more, inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Beautiful. Taking just a few minutes here to just move the spine. Sorry, a few breaths, not minutes. Just moving the spine in whatever direction. Just sort of shaking it out while in this position. Beautiful. Allowing those hips to fall back towards the heels. Let's bring ourselves into the supported child's pose position. You can position your bolster here. You might want to add a pillow either behind the knees if you're a little bit tight in your quads, or you might want to add a pillow to raise the bolster up a bit. Your choice. Just kind of piling it on and seeing how it feels, really playing with it. Drawing the bolster right in between the knees is where the edge is, because you really want to be able to rest your temple or your head, the side of your head, at the top of it. You don't want the head coming over the top. So that's what's really important with this. If this doesn't quite come between the knees, that's fine. It is a bit more comfortable to take a wide stance. So really lengthening through the spine before you come down onto the bolster, allowing the elbows to rest and make any adjustments that you need. And then just allowing the upper body to rest comfortably onto the bolster. My microphone is going to get a little bit scratchy, so I'm just going to show you and then I'll talk you through it a little bit more. We're going to rest on one side of your temple or face, and then I'll cue you to switch the neck to the opposite side just so that we get that even positioning with those muscles. So continuing to settle in, just noticing where in your body you're really releasing tension, where you're feeling that connection with the earth, making any adjustments you need to really settle in, and then draw that awareness into the breath. As you inhale, create that length for just a few rounds, and notice how the back muscles expand, and then notice how your body responds to that exhale. Sinking a bit deeper. Maybe you're gently adjusting the neck. Just feeling the sensations of softening in all of your joints. Beautiful. And then noticing now what's happening in the mind. Can you draw that awareness back into the body through the heart space, bringing in patience and gratitude, compassion, rather than judgment? Am I doing this right? Why am I doing this? I can't wait to get to bed. All of the things that the mind festers with, just gently and patiently allowing those thoughts to float away. Beautiful. Now allowing yourself to gently raise the head up and rotate it nice and slowly to the opposite side so that you're turning your face in the opposite direction, resting back down onto the bolster, and just making any adjustments that you need to settle into that side. Both sides of your neck are going to be different. You may be a bit more tight on this side. Just releasing yourself from any attachment of a perfect posture and allowing yourself to draw that awareness back into the body and the ease that you're feeling. Continuing to soften, continuing to release tension from the shoulders. Option to just release the breath now at this point as we wind down without any lengthening or counting. And just find a few moments of stillness. Returning back to your awareness of what's happening in the mind. And just choosing which thoughts you want to allow to float away and which thoughts you may allow to sink down into the heart space. The encouraging thoughts, the patient thoughts, and which thoughts you want to create for the purpose of this practice, which is complete relaxation. Beautiful. Now gently, slowly drawing your elbows back so that you can plant your palms and gently push your hips and your shoulders up back into that tabletop. And we're going to move back into that sort of slithering movement just to sort of shake things out a bit, allowing the neck to move around and the hips in the opposite direction. Just sort of shaking it off, maybe do a little barrel roll, allowing your thoracic spine to move freely. And then returning to that seated position, finding your bolster, coming back to close ourselves out, tuning in for just a few more moments at the end to just feel what you feel. Maybe that was a new posture for you. Maybe that was a new experience. Maybe you can find gratitude for new neural pathways that you created, putting your body into a different position for whatever amount of relaxation you felt in that position, and for having the commitment and the breath for showing up tonight. I hope you're finding a little less stress and a little more ease. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight, offering a big virtual hug from me to you.